All right, in this video we're going to get into comping in Ableton 11, which is a very, very cool feature that I'm sure you could get a lot of mileage out of. So I'm just going to get right into it. Comping is available and it works perfectly. Comping works in both MIDI and audio. And since I'm not going to be recording audio, just because I don't have anything set up on this computer to record directly in except for my mic, I'm going to do this with MIDI, and the same thing will be possible with audio. They work pretty much identically. And then I'll show you some other stuff that you can do with audio that's pretty cool as well. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is turn off our automation, and I'll show you why. If you right click here, the options here, take a look. What we're looking for is an option that's not available until we turn off our automation. And then once we have that off, we can right click and show take lanes. I had this set up before. I'm just going to delete this. So this is what you'll see on your MIDI track, and I've just got a celestial pad here, just an operator preset. All right, and we're just going to play along to this drum beat here. All right, so once we have this set up and we have chosen show take lanes, it's going to create take lanes for us as we record this loop. And this is just a 4-bar loop. And I've got no plan here. What I've done is I've just set up a scale tool so it corrects all my notes to the correct scale. That way I don't have to worry too much about the notes that I'm playing. And I'm just going to kind of jam around, and then we'll pick bits and pieces of the best parts. So let's go ahead and start. Just make sure our track is armed, and then we come up here and hit record. All right, so we've got a bunch of random stuff happening here. What I'll do is I'm just going to highlight all this, actually double click, hit shift, and this highlights all the different MIDI. And now I'm just going to Command A to get all the notes, and then I'm just going to Command U, and it'll just correct some of my playing a little bit. So now what I'll do here is I'm just going to right click and change the colors of each of these just so they're different, and it'll make it easier to see what's happening. All right, so with that, what I'm able to do is I can highlight a different section like so, and by hitting the return key, it pops it up to the master, okay? So I can kind of go through and select different things that I want to add. Now, you could also use the pencil tool by hitting B, and then the moment that you highlight something, it'll just automatically add it. So that works a bit faster as well. Let's all right, so this is a collection of all different bits and pieces, and this is what we've got. Oh, start here. Okay, if any of these are not catching the beginning of the note, then what we would do is we'd hit Command 4 or Control 4 to take off our grid, and then we could kind of fine tune where these are playing and so forth, right? Just to make sure we get at the beginning of the note so they play. Now what we can do as well is if there's a part that we don't like, for example, like let's say I don't really like this, I can audition different parts. And just by using the down and up arrow, I can just hit the return key and then it'll change it here, as you can see. And then I'll fine tune it because it looks like it's playing just a little before there. So and maybe I want to have this going on here. So maybe I'll highlight here so there's not so much going on. And it skipped over this note, so I'm going to bring this back a little bit just to make sure that it picks up the beginning of that note. So when we're happy with that, we just can save that as it is. And once again, if you want, you can highlight a section up here and then just use the up and down arrow to audition different parts. So for example, this part down here, there, we just change the note. Like so. So very, very cool what you can do. And you can have, as many takes as you want and kind of go through this. And like I said, you can do the same thing with audio. So with that, let's try something a little bit different here. So we'll get rid of that. And I'm just going to create a new audio track. And with this, I'm going to insert take lanes. So let's have 5 take lanes. And we'll drop this in the first lane. And let me just grab a couple random drum loops. And let's see here. I'll just drag this in randomly as well. Well, actually, no, because that's not going to be at the right tempo. So I'll do that and we'll just cut it just like a little bit of a video. So now I will highlight these three, drag it out. Okay, we don't want that there. Cool, so I'm just going to grab the pencil tool by hitting the B key, and let me just get a little bit of this going on here, and just kind of cutting around. And let's see here. Let's do that. Just well, actually, no. That's a kick, I think. So, yeah, let's do that there. Just a little sample in there, a little sample in here, and let's see what we got.
Or it. Or it.
So let's drag that out a little bit more there.
Or it.
Yep.
Or it. Or it.
Like so. So if we solo each one of these, you could hear what each one of these does separately. And this one here. And
Here is part of an interview.
so if we come back up, for example, right here, we could go ahead and scroll down. Get that snare in there and maybe find another.
Or it.
There. We'll pull one of those in here. So let's pull that right here.
Or it.
So I think you get the idea of how powerful this could be. So definitely try comping for yourself. Whether you're pulling in a bunch of random loops and turning them into lanes so that you can create kind of a master loop, or whether you're recording MIDI or audio in and having it create a new lane every time it goes through the loop process. Either way, you're going to get a lot of really interesting results. So I hope this helps. So definitely have fun with this one.